This is David Lindsay from Phantom Leap Education. Human beings are hardwired with a negativity bias, a psychological principle asserting that we're more susceptible to negative stimuli than positive ones, and we can easily be consumed by them. Louisa Jewell, the author of Wire Your Brain for Confidence, and also the founder of the Canadian Positive Psychological Association in Toronto, Ontario, says part of our inherited bias towards negative can be explained from an evolutionary perspective. If you cast your mind back thousands of years, we were constantly scanning the horizon for threats, Jewell says. It was much more important for our brains to constantly be scanning for those threats because it helped us survive as human beings. For many, but not all, modern day individuals, physical safety is generally not a concern. Yet most people are still prone to constantly scanning for threats, which can ultimately be more harmful than it is helpful. Negative self-talk can affect us in some pretty damaging ways. One large-scale study found that rumination and self-blame over negative events were linked to an increased risk of mental health problems. Also, a study published in June 2020 by the Alzheimer's and Dementia Journal even linked negative thought patterns to brain changes that could be associated with Alzheimer's disease. In the study, older adults who engage in repeated negative thinking were more likely to experience cognitive decline, including memory problems, than those who didn't. So how can we stop these negative thoughts? First of all, cultivate self-awareness. Our propensity for negative self-talk is often automatic, as the nature of the mind is to fixate on the negative. So the first step in challenging negative thoughts is to become aware that you're having them. According to Jewell, it's not just about becoming aware of what you're saying to yourself, but also when you're saying it. Understanding the triggers, what you're saying, and why you're saying it can help you to develop the self-awareness that you need to change your negative thoughts. Secondly, change negativity into neutrality. When engaging in negative self-talk, you may be able to catch yourself, but it can sometimes be difficult to force yourself to stop a train of thought in its tracks. It's often far easier to change the intensity of your language. From "I can't stand this" becomes "this is challenging." "I hate" becomes "I don't like," or even "I don't prefer." When your self-talk uses more gentle language, much of its negative power is muted as well. Lastly, shift your perspective. Imagine that you're panning out and looking at your problems from a great distance, even thinking of the world as a globe, and of yourself as a teeny tiny person on this globe. Doing this can remind you that most of your worries aren't as big as they seem in the moment. This can often minimize the negativity, the fear, and the urgency in negative self-talk. Researchers from Hertfordshire University in the UK did a study on happiness with many different factors. And the number one thing that determined someone's happiness, it wasn't helping others. And it wasn't money. It was self-acceptance. That is, accepting all of your attributes, both positive and negative. Enjoying the person who you are and enjoying the person that you can become. This is David Lindsay from Phantom Leap Education. Discover your possibilities.